This is my 1970 Nova. I got it in March. About 7, I guess, or maybe it's 8 months ago. Something like that. Anyhow, next to my wife's car, which is the reason why I look for a car like this Nova. My wife's car is a 2008 Buick LaCrosse, and about 16 or 18 months ago, I took it in for some work on the power steering, and the service guy at the dealership said the problem with it was the plastic power steering gear, and you ain't gonna find no fucking plastic in this Nova, that's for sure. At least not in terms of the power steering and those essential parts. Under the hood, we've got the original 307, which has been modified. When I bought this car, it's all original except for the rear end. It had a 12-volt rear end put onto it, and it has a 307. It had a 2-barrel, and I've kind of updated that a little bit. Will say this, that 2-barrel was nice on a recent trip from Dallas to Corpus Christi, where I got 21.5 miles to the gallon, and that was with the new classic / vintage AC that's been put in. The original compressor, the clutch was worn out, was not inoperable, so I've got the newer version of AC with a lot of the blower and elements underneath, inside, underneath the dash. Kind of cleaned up the engine compartment some. There was a big old box over in here that's been taken away. It's opened things up, makes it much easier to work on. So, like I say, I've taken that carburetor had some issues with it. Had some hesitations. Probably just an accelerator pump is all it was, but nonetheless, not accelerator pump. What do you call it? Well, that pump for when you start off. Anyhow, rather than investing into it, I went ahead and put in this dual plane intake, 4-barrel carburetor, 600 CFM, and we have the new MSD Street Fire ignition distributor back there. New 8.5 millimeter coil wires or plug wires, and so on and so forth. I don't know how much more horsepower I'm getting now. It really doesn't matter. The plans are in the future I will take this 307 out and put in a 350 block. With all this, we've got the new fuel pump. You can see it right down there in the center of the picture, and fuel line coming from the pump on up, and that's pretty much it as far as any major modifications. It's had new brakes put on front and back. It's got disc brakes in the front and drums in the back. The rear seals also had to be redone, so got that taken care of. Let's fire this puppy up. I just got back from taking it around the block. I'm still tweaking on it. There we go. It has a Flowmaster